Hello and welcome to Danny's Garage. Today I'm presenting a very special Raketa. It's a Raketa commonly called a skin diver, and as you can see by the second hand, it's a quartz movement, an early Soviet quartz movement. So first I purchased this watch on eBay from a shop where I purchased already two watches. It's called Antique USSR and it's owned by Yevon, and I think they have a good choice of watches, and the communication with Yevon is quite good. So no affiliation, just want to spread a little bit the word of the shop. So I think it's a very cool watch because not a lot of people know that Raketa were doing quartz watches in the early 80s, and this one is what we can call a skin diver. So it should be water resist, but I will not put this watch 1 meter close to the water because I don't think it's anywhere waterproof anymore. And this model with this black dial, this hands, is the model reference 591320. And as you can see on this catalog, there were at the time a few models, few variations over the years, and these were sold from the early 80s to end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. So what I like about this watch is, of course, the look. It has been supplied with this also period correct strap. I don't think it's the strap that was sold with the watch, but I like it with this strap. So inside we're gonna see the caliber 3056, which is an evolution of the 3050. So this Raketa was produced in the Petrodvorest watch factory, and the movement, so the 3036 and 3036A, were produced in different factories. So the quartz crystal were produced in the Uglish factory, sorry for the pronunciation, where the stepper motor was produced in the second Moscow watch factory, and the transistor in the watch was produced in Zelenograd city in the Angstrom factory. And finally, the quartz mechanism with analog display like this one were produced in the first watch factory and the second Moscow watch factory. And actually the assembly of the movement was carried out in different factories. And this model that I present today is part of the early collection, so early 80s, because it has the first generation of movement, the 3056, with a coil which is removed from the motor. There were two types of cases. So this case, so with a reference 591320, and in 1989, actually there were a different case where the lugs here were much shorter. So the case is unfortunately not stainless steel. It's chrome plated. It's 39 millimeter plus the crown. The crown also look very small if you compare it to a dive watch, a real dive watch. Here it's more a crown like on a dress watch, and the bezel is actually a kind of plastic. They were also orange bezel. And as they are plastic and friction, you can see it's a friction bezel, but as they are plastic, most of the time they are completely warm you don't see anymore the number or the paint, so this one is really in very good conditions. The lug to lug is 43 millimeters, and the thickness with the crystal, the acrylic crystal, which is flat, is only 10 millimeters, and the lugs opening are 18 millimeters. So let's have a close-up at the dial. So it's a black sun-blasted dial. You can see a little bit if I play like that with the dial. The indices, actually, if you look very, very closely, you can see that it's kind of copper or bronze color behind the loom. I mean, the loom is painted on the dial. The Raketa or Paketa here written, I think, in kind of Cyrillic, is also applied. Then it's written Quartz and made in CCCP. The hands also are loomed, and what I like about this version is that this is a version with a second hand that has a triangle at the tip, because some of them are just simple hands, and this one is much nicer. So here is the loom of the watch. We can see that the numeral and the indices are loomed, which is quite nice. So the case back is in two parts, only a reference number here. There is an O-ring here, and let's look at this very early quartz movement. So it's actually the main interest of the watch. So it's an in-house electronic unit quartz with a resonator and an integrated circuit that committed an amplifier, and it's a 16-stage frequency divider with a pulse shaper for controlling the step motor. So here in this version, the quartz mechanism has a single one-step motor with an external coil. And the stepper motor is controlled by a bipolar pulses with a repetition rate of 1 Hz. And this watch, this second generation of quartz watch from the Soviet Union, has improved quartz generator, and if you pull the crown out, it saves energy from the battery. So from the brochure, from the Raketa brochure, we know that this watch is accurate 1 or 2 seconds daily, but my experience with this model is that it's not really accurate. It's much more than this. What else to say from the movement? So it's a 7 joules movement from the Petrovorest watch factory in Leningrad, and the battery I use, because I replaced the battery, is a AG12 model. So here it is on my wrist. I have actually a small wrist, so the watch for me is on the larger side, and when you look at it with also this bracelet, is definitely very vintage, very skin diver watch, even though I don't think it's really waterproof. And if you want one, you have a lot of different versions. It's still not too hard to find one. What might be a little bit hard is to find one in this really good condition. So if you like this kind of content on very rare or uncommon watches, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and see you soon for new reviews.